All right, this is 1.1, part 2. We were talking about points, lines, and planes. There are some things that we didn't define before. We're going to start with opposite rays. All right, opposite rays are two rays that have a common endpoint and extend forever in opposite directions. Okay, so let's say we have a point, we'll call it A, and so I have a ray going towards the right. So this would be ray AB, and then if I have another ray going to the left, and we'll just put a C there, so I would say ray AB is opposite to ray AC. All right, next we have this word called collinear. Collinear points, and those are just points that are on the same line. Okay, it's also important to know that any 2 points would be on a line. Any 2 points make a line. Next word we have is coplanar. And that could be points. Could also call them lines. Points are lines that are on the same plane. And so to draw that, usually we just draw a parallelogram. And I'll just call this plane P. And then any points that would be on this plane, we'd call it A, B, and C. Those would all be coplanar. If we stick the prefix non in front of collinear and non in front of coplanar, non-collinear means that it's not on the same line. Non-coplanar would mean that it's not on the same plane. All right, next we're going to talk about intersections, different kinds of intersections. So the first one I would say that if 2 lines intersect, they intersect at exactly 1 point. Okay, so anytime you got a line, we'll call this line L. Let's say we got another line going this way, we'll call that line M. The intersection would be just 1 point, and that could be just point X, if you want to call it that. Next intersection would be if a line intersects a plane, then the intersection is a point. Right, and like I said before, we draw a plane usually as a parallelogram, even though it goes on in all directions forever. So we'll call this plane P. And if I have a line going through that plane, the intersection is going to be that point right there. Let's call this L. This intersection point would be point X. And the next one we have is if 2 planes intersect, then the intersection is a line. Right, and the way we draw this is we kind of draw a parallelogram going one direction. And we'll draw a plane, kind of pick up your endpoints, pick 2 points on the edge of the plane. You would draw straight up. Right, but the line we want is actually going through here. And if you want, you can get a highlighter or something to kind of shade these in so you can see. All right, let's go ahead and name these. We'll call this plane P and this one plane Q. This line we'll call line L. And if I shade this in, just so you can see the different planes. And then this line intersects those 2 planes. Alright, and that's all the definitions and postulates that you need to know for 1-1 points, lines, and planes.